Hi Connley Clan fam! Today I thought that I would answer some questions about myself. Have you guys ever wondered if I always planned on doing foster care, or maybe when I decided I was going to do foster care? And how about, did I always have this plan for my life? Did I always plan on having this many kids? Well, if you're curious, stay tuned to find out. So today I'm going to do a little get to know me, and I have a list here with some questions. I'm going to read the question and then I'm going to answer it for you guys. So the first question is, what is your name? So my full name is Rhia Ann Connley. A lot of people ask me, how do you spell your name? And my first name is spelled R-H-I-A, and it's pronounced Rhia. How old are you? Well, I am 42 years old. When is your birthday? I was born on February 13th, 1978. So I was born the day before Valentine's Day. Almost a love baby. Do you have siblings? I do actually have siblings. The only sibling that I had the same mom and dad with, she ended up being stillborn. And otherwise, I have a brother that has the same mom as me. And he was born when I was 17, so he's quite a bit younger. And I have two siblings that have the same dad as me, a sister that is about a year older, and a brother that is 5 years younger. What is your favorite food? Well, guys, I love salty. I am not a huge sweet fan. I do eat sweets, but I love salty food. And so my absolute favorite food is mashed potatoes and gravy. I could probably eat those for every single meal. I love them so much. What is your favorite color? I love blue and green, and so if you mix those two, you get teal. I love the color teal. The kids know that my favorite color is blue, and so I do consider teal a form of blue, but teal is my absolute favorite. What is your favorite TV show or movie? If we're talking currently, I love the show Manifest. And it has only been on, I think this is going on its third season, but they only do half seasons. I wish they would do a whole season because I just think that it is one of the best TV shows. Normally, I really enjoy like criminal shows. I used to watch a lot of NCIS, Criminal Minds, and TV shows like that. One of my other all-time favorites that is an older TV show is called Lie to Me, and I just love how they read people on there and how body language and facial expressions can give us away. And so that used to be my favorite TV show, but currently it is Manifest. What is your favorite season? I love the season of fall. It is fall now in Nebraska, and what's happening right now is that the leaves are changing colors, so we're getting yellows, oranges, purples, reds, and I just think it is so neat to watch the trees change colors. Also, I love that it is warm enough during the day that we can be outside, but that it's cool and crisp in the evenings so that way we can start a fire. And I love sitting around a fire and just the ambiance of it. That is one of the other reasons I love fall. What was your favorite family vacation? Now, we haven't gone on a whole lot of family vacations yet. We are planning a few in the future, but I would say that the vacation where we took all the kids to South Carolina, we went and saw Charleston. There is a ton of history there. I really liked seeing all of that history. Also, I really loved going to the ocean. I thought that it was so neat to just kind of sit and watch the waves come in. And the kids kind of loved running through the edge of it, the foam, and we collected seashells. And so between the history and the ocean, that is probably my favorite family vacation that we have taken. What is your favorite animal? Now, I'm going to be honest, I have a couple. So I really love elephants and I have them in my house. I also love dolphins. One of the things I had thought about becoming when I was a kid was a marine biologist. I'm horrible at science, so I did not do that. But I loved ocean life so much and I loved dolphins so much that I really wanted to learn more about them. So I did not take that path, obviously. But one of the other animals that I think is really neat is a sloth. And so I think I would say it's probably a tie between a dolphin and a sloth. But I think sloths are just such cool animals. They move so slow and they're just kind of fun to watch. What is your favorite YouTuber? We actually have a couple favorite YouTubers. Our family watches the Crazy Middles and the Crazy Pieces, and we probably don't miss any of their vlogs. They vlog almost daily. Their family is very similar to ours, and so our family loves sitting down and watching them. It's fun to watch somebody who looks similar to your family and see what they do on a daily basis. What was your first job? My first job I got when I was 15. I had just turned 15, and it was at Dairy Queen, which was one of the very few places that was in the small town I lived in. And so I learned how to make ice cream. What is your favorite cartoon? Okay, guys, my favorite cartoon and my favorite cartoon character are actually different. I love Mickey Mouse. One of the other things I had thought about becoming when I was a kid was an animator, and I really wanted to work for Disney. So Mickey Mouse is probably my favorite cartoon character, but I love watching Scooby-Doo. I loved watching Scooby-Doo when I was a kid, and still to this day, I could binge watch Scooby-Doo. So when the kids watch it, I will sit down and watch it with them because I think it is so much fun to watch that cartoon. I don't know what it is about Scooby-Doo. Maybe it's because I love mysteries, and of course, they're so very obvious to me now, but I still really like watching that cartoon. What is your biggest fear? I, of course, always worry that something's going to happen to my kids. I think every mom probably does, every parent. But other than that, one of my biggest fears is anything that has to do with not being able to breathe. So choking, drowning, anything like that, I have a terrible fear of not being able to breathe. What would you change about yourself if you could? So I really struggle with my weight, and it is something that goes up and down and fluctuates all the time, and I have had a problem with it since I was a little kid. And so I will gain weight, and then it's really hard for me to lose, but when I do lose it, I can only keep it off for a short amount of time. About 4.5 years ago, I lost a bunch of weight, and I kept it off for 2 years, and then I gained it all back. And so I really struggle with that. That would be one thing that I would definitely change about myself. Other than that, I really like the person that I have become. What did you want to be when you were small? Well, guys, I've told you about two of them. So I wanted to be an animator for Disney, and I thought about marine biology. But what I went to college for was to be an architect. Since I was in the 6th grade, I would draw out plans for houses. I really, really enjoyed taking a blank piece of paper and creating an entire house plan on that from just something that I made up. And I really wanted to be an architect. And when I went to college, a teacher there told me that because I wanted to do residential architecture, that I would be creating the $5 books and I would never make any money. Now, today I don't believe that that's true. I do believe that I could have went on and built custom homes like I wanted to, and I probably could have made good money at it. But when I was in college, I really believed what that professor told me, and I switched my major. So the next thing that I switched my major to was adolescent and family therapy. I was going to be an adolescent and family therapist. I think that I would have been really good at doing that, but instead I used those skills and talent to become a foster parent. And I still have to do, obviously, like therapeutic things with our children. And so I'm able to be a mom and help kids at the same time that I am using similar skills that a therapist would use, although I did not become a therapist. What is one thing you wish you could learn? Now, I kind of hinted at this when I talked about the TV show that I liked. I really wish that I could learn, stupid fly, I really wish I could learn how to read people. And this is something that I've watched YouTube videos on, I've read books about, and it is not something that I feel like comes natural, and so you really have to work at doing it. But I love the fact that you can tell how people are feeling based off of their body language and their facial expressions, and it is something I really, really would like to learn more about. When did you know you wanted to do foster care? When I was in high school, I actually went to school with a foster child, and I had a neighbor who lived across the street from us who did foster care as well. She took in a large sibling group, and that way they could stay together. So when I was younger, I had foster care touch my life. Now, I think because the foster child that I was friends with, he ended up taking his own life. And that really, really left a big impact on me when I was a kid. And I felt horrible about it. And, always wondered if there was something that I could have done because we were pretty good friends. Of course, there was nothing I could have done, but it doesn't stop you from thinking that way. So I think that that is one of the biggest reasons that I chose to become a foster parent, was because I really felt this pull to kids who needed someone who really loved and cared about them. I think that is one of the biggest reasons that impacted my choice on becoming a foster parent. Of course, I had to have a husband that wanted to do it as well, and I was lucky enough to marry somebody who was also interested in doing foster care and helping children. How do you refill your tank? So, I have a lot of kids, and the way that I look at this, and I'm sure it's not the way everybody does, but I have a tank that goes to each child. And so each child can run their tank empty, which could make me exhausted with that child. But I will still have enough energy for the other kids. So each kid has their own tank, but I do obviously get exhausted. And so to refill my tank, I do things like crafting. I love to craft. I love to create things. Actually, doing YouTube is a way to get my creative energy out. I love being creative. The other thing that I do is I really enjoy listening to books. So I used to love reading. I would read all the time. But now that I am so busy, instead what I do when I'm doing laundry or dishes or cleaning up around the house, I will put in my headphones and I will listen to a book. And so I really enjoy doing that. It helps refill my tank. It's kind of a little escape for me because when I listen to books, I always feel like I'm there, and it really helps me refill my tank. Do you work outside the home? So I do not work outside of the home, but I do work from home. And I have worked from home for about the last 15 years. Sean and I own a couple businesses, and by trade, I am a graphic artist. So I ended up going to college to get a business degree. So I do have a bachelor's in business. But I am a graphic artist by trade. I know quite a bit about marketing. I have a lot of experience in marketing, but I self-taught myself graphic arts and enjoyed it so much. Again, it's just another way for me to be creative. And so I taught myself, and then I used that going forward in one of the businesses that Sean and I owned. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? If you guys have watched any of our stories, in one of our stories, I talk about how we hopped in our fifth wheel and we took off to find a new state to put down roots in. And during that time, we went through Arizona, and then we moved on to Texas, and we really fell in love with Corpus Christi. So I think that if I could probably live anywhere, it would be Corpus Christi, because that is the place that we chose to live when we were looking around at places to put down roots. I will say though that when we went to South Carolina, I did really love South Carolina. I think it was the history in Charleston that I fell in love with, along with being near the ocean. But I really enjoy the weather in Texas, and I think that that would probably be where I would end up moving. So guys, that is all the questions that I have today. If you guys have any questions for me, comment down below and let me know. I'll answer them in another video. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, make sure you subscribe to catch more videos like this one. Also, the informational videos that we put out and our vlog videos. Make sure you click that notification bell to get notified when any of our videos come out so you don't miss any of them. And if you liked my interview today, give me a big thumbs up. And we'll talk to you next time, guys. Bye!